Hello and welcome to Sunday. Now, we've been talking about this for the past little bit, and it's finally done. I put together a leather bag. So this is a kit from the company Tandy. They are all about leather and leatherworking and all that stuff. And when I went to the leatherworking class, was it 2 weeks ago now? That sounds right, 2 weeks ago. I picked up this leatherworking kit, and they say it's a level 2, right? And it's a level 2 because it requires a lot of hand stitching. So, right, everything is pre-cut, pre-punched, so it just came with this, like, one leather piece here, the two handles, and the bottom. It came with string and a couple needles, and that was it. I broke one of the needles, which is why there was a bit of a delay, but I ordered more, and we got them going. So, this was a whole ordeal, right? I've sewn before. My mother's a seamstress. All of my mother's sisters are seamstresses. My maternal grandmother was a seamstress. My paternal grandfather was a tailor. I come from a long line of people who know how to sew and mend clothes. So, it's in my blood, every which way, that I am able to sew, right? It's something I grew up doing, on occasion using a sewing machine, and it's just one of those things that it's part of my life. So, I figured, this is probably going to be easy. Turns out, I'm dead wrong. So the first things first, it came with a long piece of thread, just like this, wrapped up, which you can't really see too well, but this is the remnants of that, and I just dropped a tiny piece on the ground here, which I need. So this thread was like kind of sticky, and I was like, that's weird. Why is it like that? Turns out it's because the thread is waxed, and it needs to be waxed because it's just makes it easier to go through the material and work with it, right? It's also very thick thread, right? You see like a thread of cloth, like this is very visible. If I hold up like a clothing thread, you wouldn't be able to see it. And what makes these special is that when you're threading the needle, right, all you do is just put the thread through the eye of the needle like so, and then that's it, right? Normally you would knot it, except that's not the case with leather working needles like this. What you gotta do is they say like a centimeter of this length, you thread the needle that much, and then what you want to do is you want to take the needle and then push it through the thread itself, right? That's like this. So here, let's show you. So here we take, I do like maybe a centimeter, maybe half the length of the needle, and then right through, we'll push the needle through the thread itself. This way, you can see like that. And then you grab like another centimeter of length here, and then you do it one more time. There's already a hole in this, I'm just trying to get it through again. Like that. So you can see how it's like this. Then you slide it down, you pull this through, and you slide it down until it looks kind of like that, right? And then, like magic, all you do is just take your fingers like this and slide it down the length of the needle. And then all of a sudden, you have like that, like, it's going through itself like that, and that's crazy. So that's how you properly thread a leatherworking needle. I did not know that, which is why I made my first time using this extremely difficult. Right, I was just looking up the guide that they showed me. I didn't look up the video. After I looked up the video and learned that trick, it all worked out for me. But yeah, doing this initially took like 2 hours for this one. And right, I was still getting a feel for everything. Then it's like an hour and a half for this. And then, it was just taking forever to do this. Eventually I got speeding up once I figured out everything here and started learning how to properly work with the needle, next up would be the bottom here, like this stitch was a whole process, right? It's just the same thing. And that's when I learned that despite it being pre-punched, you need to make sure that a needle can actually go through it. So I took a thick sewing needle, not a leatherworking needle, but one that my mom has with her sewing stuff, and just started poking all the holes. Even though they were already pre-punched and some were already punched through, just stuck a needle in, wiggled it around a tiny bit just to like open up that hole a little bit more, and then you start sewing. And sewing in whatever particular way, right, is a saddle stitch, as they call it, which is where you feed a needle through one way and then you feed it back, like you have tied off on needle on both ends of this. So you just go like that and that and that. And I have very sweaty hands, depending on the amount of sweat my hands are experiencing and how well of a grip I can get on the needle. Use pliers, right? Use pliers. Just push the needle through, and if you can't get a proper grip, I was just using like a hard piece, like a thick piece of paper, like a thick piece of cardboard kind of thing, just to like push on the needle, as opposed to like using my fingers or my thumb or like a thimble or anything. Tried using a thimble, it didn't work out too well, but like a thick piece of, even like a block of wood that you can just push on the edge of the needle with, something, you know, that won't break the needle or anything, just something a bit tougher just to get it through, and then use pliers to pull it through all the way. Once you understand how to do that and like you get that technique down, it just goes by so fast. And eventually you'll end up with this. You cut the needles off after like stitching it back on itself, and then you just burn the edges of the thread, and we have the results of our labor. Overall, this was a super fun project, and I would love to make more of these. I think I might order another one, and they have a Black Friday sale going on, so I need to look at that, and I will definitely be making another one for myself, because this one's a gift. And I think it's a lovely gift, and I can't wait to see what the person thinks. But this will be delivered in 2 weeks, so here's hoping that they enjoy it. For now, however, that's what we're going to call it for today. So, thank you all for watching. I hope to see you tomorrow. And until then,